I'm sorry for any potential background noise. I am at work. There's children in the hallway. If y'all hear that,
It's okay. So, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of My Life Has Destiny podcast, where I am your host, Coco Fenton, and y'all see Quint Junes over here in the corner. Y'all know, so we glad to have her back in the spot doing what she do. Not only that, I'm absolutely excited about the guest that we have tonight. I have to say that I'm extremely proud of her. Not only because she is my cousin, but I am extremely proud of her because she's been in business and been in business for a long time now. It doesn't even seem like it's been that long, but it has. And the good thing about it is, um, I can honestly say, as a female, and because of who she is, she's one of the people that I can honestly say I look up to. So um, I am actually very, very, very proud of her. She not only has her own salon, but she has also started a hair care line, y'all. So please go cop her products. I put it on the flyer, so I'll make sure that I put it in the chat and pin it so y'all can get it. But y'all will like what she does. All right, so that's all I got to say. As y'all, if y'all go on her Instagram and follow her, even on her Facebook, y'all will see she's always got her hands in hair. So it's not just, not just her own clients, but she does her own hair and she shows y'all through videos what she does, how she does it, how she keeps flowing, and how she has no breakage. So she does video tutorials, she does it all. So y'all make sure y'all go follow her over on Instagram as well. So without further ado, before we get started, Quint, you got anything to say to the people?
I don't know much about her, but I thank you for coming on. I thank all of you, all of our supporters. I'm proud of you being a young Black female that's been in business for such a long time. It's a blessing. So, and it gives
thank you.
people something to look up to. Just knowing that, we could start something of our own. We don't have to be mediocre. We can walk as these entrepreneurs that everybody sees. It's a handprint away. It's up to us to go after it. So I commend you on what you're doing. I say keep going. Don't ever let anything stop you and just keep thriving. So, with that being said, I'm gonna turn this back over to Coco.
All right. So y'all know I like to let the guests have the floor and do what they do. Plus, I know she has a time crunch, so I'm gonna let her get started so she can give y'all all the nuggets she can give y'all before she get up off of here. All right. So, then Teresa, introduce the world to yourself, ma'am.
Y'all, thank you for what you've said. You kind of laid it on so thick. I'm getting emotional already. I'm about to be flustered. But I am Santresa. I am Coco's cousin. As she said, we go way back. I am the owner and operator of Metamorphosis, uh, which is a salon suite where I'm at right now. And I am also the owner of Metamorphosis Beauty. I create two oils by hands for my clients. I'll get into that story later about how that even started. But I have been a licensed cosmetologist in the state of North Carolina for 20 years. It does not seem like it's been that long, but it has. And I opened up Metamorphosis in 2011. I was not a business person when I opened up. I was just somebody that knew how to do hair, had zero business sense. So I had to learn, and I had to learn quickly. But I still feel like I'm that person who's still trying to figure everything out and figure out all the pieces and the nuggets and what part goes to what thing. I'm a continual learner. I'm kind of a nerd a little bit. I will sit down and read the big Fortune 500 companies' annual report and figure out how to make it work for my little room with just me as a one woman show. Um, yeah, and I really just kind of feel like I'm at the beginning and I'm just getting started. But it has been a long road. God has blessed me and covered me throughout this entire journey because there's been a lot of ups and downs and twists and turns. And a lot of times I thought I wasn't going to make it and I was going to have to quit, but I am still here. So I am grateful for that.
Yes.
Awesome. So, exactly how long has the salon been open?
The salon opened April 2011.
Wow.
Yeah,
Awesome.
April
So,
2011.
Ooh, 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah, with a brief intermission in there. I had to pause for a minute because I didn't know what I was doing, and the owner of the facility was nice enough to not kick me all the way out. He told me, you know, you're gonna have to pay me the money that you owe me, but I'm not gonna take your room from you. When you pay your balance off, you can come back. And I went home and cried and tried to figure out what I was gonna do and enrolled in graduate school. And took that first refund check, came slap it on the table. I got a client at 3. Can I come back today?
I know
He was
that's
like,
right.
okay, sure.
I know that's right.
Oh man,
I
yeah.
so know that he was not expecting that one.
He was not, but I was really at the place of, okay, God, I know this is what you want me to do. I've already tried to quit doing hair twice. Clearly, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. The job I was working at, it was not giving me the opportunity to build clientele because I couldn't get off work take my first client until 5. So I had to really sink or swim.
Right.
And then I took the leap, and then I started sinking, and I was like, oh God, you told me to do this. What am I supposed to do now? You know? So it's been an interesting journey. It makes you strong.
Hey, versatility, we built for it though.
Yes,
So
we are.
okay, so how did you come up with the name of your salon?
Literally was sitting I used to work at a call center it was third party outsourcing for Centerport Energy Gas out of the Midwest. And I used to be the little church girl that would sit there with her little pocket Bible and doodle stuff because I ain't really want to get it. I didn't care what they were talking about, what they did over the weekend, going to the club and stuff. That's not really my thing. You know, do what you do, but I've never been that person. So I was just sitting there, and it was like, I really want to go back to this. At this point in the game, I think it's time for me to go back to the salon. I tried to move away. Nothing was panning out, and I always wanted the salon name to be Expressions of You. I don't know why. That's just the name I had. And as I was sitting there, it hit me. Santresa, name it Metamorphosis. Your colors are purple, gray, and white. This is what you're going to do. This. And I just started writing. And I still have the notebook because I went to the store and bought a 5-subject notebook with a gray cover on it. And I drew Metamorphosis on the front and took a butterfly sticker and slapped it on the front. Still have it to this day.
I love
And
it.
look at how long,
It's bananas, but it's
ago
the
that
truth.
was.
I know. It's crazy. Because I was
I
literally
can remember. I can remember when it was your mom that said it the first time, right? That said, like, you need to go ahead and go get it done. It was her that said it the first time.
She pretty much told me to go back to the salon because I complained at every job I had that was in the salon. She did that. But the Metamorphosis name just kept getting real loud. I remember seeing it in a movie. I don't know what movie I was looking at, but this guy was walking down the street and it was on the glass. And I was just like, okay, this is it. But she's always been an encouraging force. Go ahead.
It's transformation.
It is.
It is. So, you know, if you understand the meaning of metamorphosis, it only makes sense. Like, why it's getting so loud. It's time for you to transform. Come out of that shell.
Exactly.
Come from that caterpillar and bloom into that butterfly that you are.
Yeah, plus, when you go into the salon, you come out looking different when you go in there. So
listen, y'all already took both of the concepts right there. I didn't know I was going to go through my own personal metamorphosis when I started. Mm-hmm. I just thought, hey, you know, metamorphosis, I'm changing people's appearance. I'm helping their inner beauty shine through their hair. Cool. Had no idea of the journey I was getting ready to go on myself. I don't even have the words for it. It's crazy. I am nowhere near the person I was in 2011 when I opened up. Nowhere near her. She would be proud.
Well, also, like I said, I am proud. I know that for me, I have watched like almost every video you have posted, and then I see how some of the people come in and what their faces look like when you finish. And you got some people, especially people that come in that have self-esteem issues.
Mm-hmm.
When you're done, you just lifted that.
I did.
You know? And you can see it in some of the videos because you can tell when they came in, It was, I just came in to get my hair done, but by the time
Mm-hmm.
we were done, they was, smiling from ear to ear, couldn't get the smile to go down or nothing like that. And I just think it's awesome, especially when you do like a makeover day for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just awesome when you do that type of stuff. So
But thank you. They learn quickly that it's more. My slogan is more than hair; it's a lifestyle, and they find that out really quick. Because even if you come in and say, "Oh, I'm a quiet person. I don't really talk," and I say, "Oh, I'm technically a quiet person too, but being in this industry brought it out of me. I'm kind of chatty like my father now, and I am." And by the time I get through with the appointment, you're like, "Oh my gosh, I really don't talk to people for real. And you had me just talking up a storm." You're welcome. It's my job to give you a pleasant experience. It's my job to help you detox from the day or whatever else you have going on in your world. I'm supposed to be your calm when you come in here. In addition to teaching you how to have healthy, fabulous, amazing hair.
right.
So a lot of times you see that they're happy because we've been in here dancing, we've been watching movies. I've helped people with their marketing homework. I've talked to ladies about their femininity and their feminine energy. I hear about weddings and babies and proms. And I just hear everything because it's just that's just what the hairstylist is.
Right.
And I just feel like it's my job to impart into them some good for them to go out a little bit stronger than what they came in.
Awesome. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had one thing that you could tell another woman that is kind of like at a crossroads with herself on how to get out of the slump of having low self-esteem, to saying that, look, everybody, you may not look like this person, you may not look like the next, but you are still you. You're uniquely you. How would you tell a person that came in to see you for the first time?
I would tell them to not worry about what the other person is doing. You can't compare yourself to other people. Comparison really is a thief of joy and peace. Um, and in all honesty, I may not look like it, but I had low self-esteem for a very long time, and that started when we were teenagers. Um, and when I got close to 30, I was like, oh, I guess I look okay. I guess I'm okay with this. And I would be, worried about all the giftings that I had, and I wouldn't want anybody to see that because they might feel some type of way or whatever it is, just scared about being my authentic self. And as my relationship grew with God more over the last couple of years, I started to affirm myself every day, and I started to feed myself the word every day and stop looking at what everybody else was doing and giving myself other types of meat outside of time spent with God and watching tutorials and studying, how to be a confident woman, a high value woman, and things like that. And it finally started to click and register in my mind, hey, I really am awesome. I do have a lot of things going on for myself. You shouldn't feel bad for that. You should carry that. You shouldn't be cocky. You should be confident in your own skin.
Right.
And that's a journey and that's a process because you still have those moments. But the main thing is to affirm thyself daily. Be careful of what you allow into your ears. And don't worry about what the next person is doing or because sometimes people say stuff to you just because they feel some type of way about their own life, or they're looking at you and seeing what you don't see in yourself and they want to stop it before you actually realize who you are.
Right.
So don't worry about what everybody else got going on. Put your blinders on, build your life from the inside out.
That's right.
Awesome. Awesome. And I have to say, I had a friend of mine. Look at one of your pictures that you took that you had on your Instagram, and he was like, "Is she a model?" I said, "Yeah."
I sure am for Metamorphosis. I sure am a model for Metamorphosis.
No,
Yes.
he went through and looked at it. He was like, "No, she should." He was like, "She should do that." He was like, "She got it, and she don't even realize she got it." I mean, from everything, he was like everything from the hair down to the clothes you had on. He was like, "She got it, and she don't realize she got it."
I know. I know I got it now. For a long time, I didn't know I had. My spiritual big brother told me that I was like one of those people in the movies that was walking around waving an AK-47, people ducking and running, trying to get away because they know it's a gun. And the person's just like, I don't know what the problem is, blah, blah, blah. They don't really know what they have in their hand.
Right.
That's not the first time I've been told that I should be a model. I just don't really care to be one. I like to eat. I don't want to have to worry about,
Size, right?
Yeah, I don't have to worry about the stuff that they worry about on a consistent basis. That doesn't mean that I won't do it. It just means it's not necessarily on my top list of things to do.
Okay. All right.
I won't completely rule it out, but I'm not really pressed about that. Tell them I said thank you though.
I will. So tell me how business went for you during the hit of the pandemic.
My business was kind of okay before lockdown, but I remember constantly asking the question as they started saying, the rules and things that, oh, well, you have to stay 6 feet apart from each other. And since I'm in a salon suite, I remember talking to the owner of the building and a couple of other people here. And I'm like, well, how does that work for us? There's no way for us to be able to work 6 feet apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not possible. I feel like they're getting ready to shut us down because they were already starting to rumor about it. And then it hit so quickly that it kind of made everybody's head spin. And I have never, when I was in cosmetology school, we were always told that the beauty industry was pretty much indestructible because you can't outsource a haircut. You can send everything else to China,
right?
Different industries, but you can't send a haircut over there. You can't send getting your nails done over there. You can't send getting your makeup done over there. Like that has to be something here.
Mm-hmm.
So we pretty much felt like we were a recession-proof, bulletproof. And for the first time in all of my years, I've been told that I can't go to work, that I'm not allowed to shampoo somebody's hair. I'm not allowed to twist somebody's hair. None of that, nothing. And I was kind of in a little bit of a depression for the first couple of weeks because it was a hard pill to swallow. And it also taught me that I really needed to be prepared just in case you never know what's going to happen. Most of us as hairstylists, we make our income from standing behind the chair. We have to have other streams. Because God forbid we go back into another shutdown. Now my clients are calling me for retail. I didn't have as much retail as I have now. I had like 1 or 2 bottles of everything. And that taught me really quick, okay, you need to make sure that you have stuff to position them. So that way, when they go home, if God forbid something like this again happens, you can ship them off their products so that way they can maintain their hair at the house. Now, there were a couple of people that were still trying to call me to get me to sneak over and get their hair done. And I'm like, ma'am, we could lose our licenses for this. I worked too hard to get my license and I done quit twice. I'm not going to give it up for that. You just going to have to thug it out. I try to come up with some information for you guys at home. And that's kind of like how the hair tips and things kind of pushed itself a little bit more. And I still kind of drug my feet on that, but it was an eye opener. And I was already becoming more of a confident person. But when we came back from lockdown, I was like, okay, it's game on now. And that kind of took the business to a different level. Things increased for me. I've made sure that this retail area stays stocked from now on because I'm not going to go through that again. But it's been good since. I kind of feel like it was a blessing in disguise in like the most weirdest package that you could ever get, because you would never think that it will result in something good, but it kind of did for me personally. And I can't say that for a lot of people, so I count that as a blessing.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so will you say that since you've been back in the salon, right, has the clientele increased or kind of remained the same, or?
It increased. It increased a lot. I also shifted my hours because before lockdown, I used to come in at 6 a.m. on Saturdays. So basically me condensing my hours down, because now I open up at 9 every day. and I think I took away Tuesday, so now I'm open Wednesday through Saturday. Me compacting my hours down, it was almost like, oh, her appointments are going quickly now. Let me try to hurry up and get in versus, oh, well, I just saw that you had something open and I just keep going to the website, clicking back and forth, and I'll just get it whenever. And then you did that one day and the appointment was gone and now you're trying to call me and get in, but I'm full for the day.
Okay.
So I had to learn work-life balance.
Yeah, there's a question on the screen if you can see it.
You saw that I stopped talking. I see it. It was very important to learn how to pivot your business. You're gonna have to learn how to pivot in general. And in my self-care journey, I started learning how to play chess and learning how each piece equates to life. And with that, you have to be a thinker and think 10 steps ahead and also know how to pivot. If you Blockbuster does not exist anymore because they didn't pivot.
Right.
Circuit City does not exist anymore, or Toys R Us, and we loved us some Toys R Us.
Yes.
Because they did not pivot. Forever 21 struggling. They don't really pivot. You have to know how to go with the ebbs and flows of life, and with whatever is going on with with business culture and how things evolve. You got to be able to jump on that wave. Because even now, for me personally, when I first moved to Charlotte, I moved up here in 2006. Everybody was wearing doobie wraps and relaxers. I quit that first time and came back. Everybody had locks and froze. I didn't really come up dealing with natural hair like that. You know, I could do it, but it was like, all right, girl, you're going to have to sink or swim.
Mm-hmm.
Let everybody want to come to me with these big froze and want to press. All right, it's time to start pressing some hair. Now we're going through lockdown. People are trying to come up with different avenues to still generate income because as a self-employed person in North Carolina, we couldn't file for unemployment until we went in lockdown in March. We couldn't apply for that until May almost. So you're just home.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't have a reserve, you know?
Did you have to end up doing the PPE?
Oh, I know. No. You know how many people getting in trouble for that PPE? Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No.
Good. At least he was one of the smart ones not to.
No.
Yeah, because
God really looked out for me though.
That's good. There's so many people that I know that did it are just like, I should have never done it. And I was like,
no. Yeah. I literally sat home and said a prayer, and people just started messaging me. Some people were family members. Some people were people I hadn't talked to in God knows when. Are you okay? What's your address? Do you need anything? I got checks in the mail. I got cash apps. I was just like, okay. You know, one of our cousins came and dropped off some toilet paper and some snacks, you know. God was looking out. God was looking out for the little brown girl, you know. That's why I love him so much. I was all right.
That's what he does. That's what he does, and he's so awesome at it. So, yes, he is. You know, so what made you start your own hair care line?
My clients. I have 2 hair oils. One is a hair and body oil. The other one is a hair oil for growth. And literally from each oil that I produced, it was because a client had a situation and a need, and I had to meet it. And it took me a while because I'd be like, oh, okay, well, you can just go see a dermatologist. Oh, well, I'll think of something for you, but I'm always doing 50 different things. So I would never really like jump on it. The first oil is called A&R, and it's literally the initials of one of my best friends / sister's daughter. To never sell myself short again or my business, and to not be afraid to have my ducks in a row. Because again, like even with the retail, I knew I needed more retail, but I was more concerned about taking care of primary, you know, other things that I deemed more important and a priority as far as like home life, you know, making sure that I had my back bar stocked so I could service the clients, knowing that, you know, the retail was needed. Because if I would have had those things in place, you don't have, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. That's the biggest lesson. Right. That's all I'm saying. Right. And I I think it's also said be ye ready at all times.
That's it.
And I think the other one is the parable of the young maidens who did not have their oil, and God showed up and they got left.
Yeah.
Which all goes back to be ye ready at all times. That's what I learned going into lockdown, to stay ready so I don't have to get ready.
Right. Okay, so
I'm gonna get stuck.
Okay, so we was talking about the A and R. You said it's the initials of your best friend's daughter?
Yes, that's one of my best friend's sisters. I got a couple best friends. Best friend / sister. So when she was probably about the 5th grade, she had eczema in her scalp really bad, and her hair was starting to come out in patches, like little teeny tiny patches. And I remember saying, hey, you need to take her to the dermatologist. And she's like, that's your job, take care of her scalp and her hair. You the sister auntie situation, you take care of that. And I was like, you know, when you're a cosmetologist, at some point there's a ceiling, you have to go see a doctor or a dermatologist, depending on what's going on with your scalp, because that's out of our jurisdiction. And I had already had a couple of clients tell me in the past, oh, well, you know, I've been to such and such place. Have you considered doing oil blends? Because this salon is doing X, Y, and Z, and I think you would be really good at it. And I'm like, okay, I'll look into it. Or I would download some things about different types of oils and what they would do. And I was just, later. So this kept going on for a while. And I finally was like, let me sit down and try to come up with something for her. And I remember the first time I did it, I put it in like one of those little Sally's applicator bottles. And me not knowing any better, went and bought organic oils from Harris Teeter. So I used those, and I was like, here, put this on her scalp. And she was like, what is this? Just do what I asked you to do. She wouldn't do it. I was taking her to school every day for her in the mornings. So I just started putting it on the scalp myself. And we started to notice some results. She was also changing her diet. She was giving her more like carrots and apples and things for snacks instead of chips and cookies and things like that. And then it was, well, we need some more. And I was like, I don't know what I did with the recipe. Me and loose leaf paper is not a thing, you know. I lost that. I'm sorry. So fast forward, now it is 2016. And this is like right after my grandmother passed. I had 2 clients come in because at the time I was still doing children's hair. This one little girl had just started kindergarten. And I had an adult come in, and they both were having the similar issues with their scalp. And I remember telling both of them, go to the dermatologist. And the mother to the child kept saying, well, what do I put on her hair in the meantime? I'm getting ready to throw everything out. What can I get from the store? Now, I'm not in the beauty supply store for real because I use professional products. And as she was talking, I remembered my homegirl's daughter. And I said, I'll have something for you on Tuesday. Now, this time, I actually went to a supplement store, got the actual right oils and products versus going to Harris Teeter. Went to the container store, got some 2-ounce bottles, went to Office Depot, got some Avery labels, slapped it on the bottle, put it on the shelf, told her come in Tuesday. She didn't come. I had 6 bottles. Another client walked in, looked straight at it and said, oh, you made that? We love handmade stuff. How much is it? And that was my first sale. And it is really geared towards eczema, dry scalp, dry skin. I use it in the replacement of a baby oil especially in the winter months because my hands get really dry because I'm always in water shampooing hair. It is really good with stopping pretty much any type of itch. And I learned that from my mom and my brother because I gave it to them for one thing. And then they called me and said, you know, my thigh was itching and I put that oil on there and it stopped. Girl, you got something with that.
And that's the A&R oil.
That's the A&R oil.
Okay, so and then the other oil is it just regular hair oil? It's
a growth oil. It's called Mane and Grow. I had another client. This story is not as long as the other one. I literally had a client whose hair was growing, but she wanted it to be thicker.
Okay.
And the same thing again. Oh, I'll think of something. Oh, I'll sit down and do some research. And then finally one day I sat down and came up with a ingredient list to help promote growth and thicker hair. And I just decided to call it Mane and Grow.
Okay. So
Yeah.
to this day, do you know how many bottles of oil you sold?
No. And I need to do better. No, I don't. I actually switched online stores, so I can't really. I don't know. I could probably look and tell you what I've sold in the last year,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay.
But overall, I can't say. And I have a friend that's in PR, and she gave me a connect to help with an event some years ago when I first started doing it, because I would do it and then I would stop, and then I would do it and I would stop, because I ain't really had the money to go get the ingredients, and I was like, and then people ask me about it and I start up again. And I had to send off 200 samples, and I almost lost my little mind. Offerings for guys that sport
I'm sure
bald
the A
heads.
and R will probably work, Fred.
Elaborate a little bit more on that. Like, do you have a dry scalp? Because you still got to take care of your scalp. Now, if you're trying to get your hair to grow back, the mane and grow may help. I can't guarantee that 100% though, because if you're fighting genetics is eventually going to win.
Okay, are
you can hold on for a little while longer, but
are you saying yes to you have a dry scalp, or yes to you trying to get your hair to grow back?
Fred, you trying to get some locks?
Honey, that's gonna take a long time. No, he said he just want to take care of his scalp.
The A&R oil will be fine though, to keep it moisturized and to help fight dryness. But then, a lot of guys tend to get that 2-in-1 body wash shampoo situation. Don't do that. Please don't do that. And the 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioners, because at what point does it stop being a body wash or stop being a shampoo and become the other thing,
Right.
And I saw another hairstylist put that in a reel on Instagram. She said, what came first, the chicken or the egg? And then she said what I just said. At what point does the shampoo stop shampooing and the conditioner start conditioning in a 2-in-1? I said, that is a very good point. I'm going to use that. And then, you have a lot of guys that'll actually I know guys that'll take the actual bar of soap and just rub it on their head and go in the shower. Negative. Or you just don't shampoo it at all. They actually have some really good products specifically for bald heads. If you do some research and go in the beauty supply store, I don't know the names of them off the top of my head, but a good standard clarifying shampoo and a good conditioner and a little bit of oil to keep it moisturized. You don't want it to be out there glistening with a high gloss. You don't use too much, but just make sure that your scalp is taken care of.
Yeah, you don't want to walk around looking like a greasy chicken, sir.
Exactly, or bowling ball.
Right.
Yeah. They really have high gloss, matte finish. It's crazy. I used to see that stuff in Sally's when I worked in there.
I am putting it in the chat. So it's going to be met-salon.com, sir.
Yes.
Go get it.
And if you go up there and you click shop, it'll take you to the online store. And I'm actually running a promo for this podcast that ends at 11:59 p.m. tonight. So if you put in Destiny 22, you'll get 25% off on the oils and on the Naked products and the sets and kits products.
Awesome. You said you've been using tea tree oil as of late?
Tea tree oil is okay, but you want to add something else into that, because if you're using it just by itself, that's more of an antiseptic, antifungal, so it's going to dry everything up, but you want to add moisture in. So you don't want to necessarily just use that by itself. You can kind of add a carrier oil to it, like a jojoba or a grapeseed oil or something like that, because that's really strong.
You heard it, Fred. Okay, so next time I see you, I guess you're just gonna be glistening. Right. I'm just saying. He be
You're so
glistening.
funny.
He be halfway glistening now. It'd be a slash between sweat and what left of the oil on his head. So
Nah.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Like, nah, Coco. Don't try to play him.
I have nothing to say.
I got your back, Fred. She coming for you. That funny girl.
Okay, so for Quint, so you see she got locks. We don't need no mane and grow over there.
No,
Okay.
not at all. Not at
No.
all.
A and R would work good for you too, ma'am.
It would if
Yeah.
you were having dry scalp and skin conditions.
She
That you
constantly
need to
like this
combat.
right here. You'll see her do this a lot.
That's a nerve thing. When I get tired, I just scratch. It's just a nerve thing. It don't even gotta be itching. Okay.
You gotta find something else to do with your hands when you get tired. Cause that'll be the one spot that your hair start to break.
Look, when I'm tired, it's either here,
Yeah, right, yeah, right
here.
there.
Oh, I know how I go.
It ain't even itching.
Smack dab in the middle of her head.
Yeah, you
Like,
just got to find
go to
something else to
sleep.
do and replace that.
Right. It'd be like, just go to sleep already. But
I was just telling her last night. I said it's about time for you to retwist it.
It is.
So,
it's all the way time to retwist.
Okay.
And it's growing
like,
ridiculously
she
right
got
now.
like 4 inches of new growth sitting at the top of her head right now.
4 inches.
Yeah.
You haven't had a retwist since the beginning of the year, huh?
No. I just had a retwist a month ago. It's ridiculously
That's
growing.
why I said she don't need no mane and growth. Because that ain't the problem.
You are blessed. There's lots of people who are envious of you.
Listen,
their hair is growing.
I started my locks 6 years this month. And I didn't have no sides. It started real short. And it's been growing ever since. Like, and I'm like, okay, I'm like ready to cut it. And then every time I think about cutting it, then it's like, no, you can't cut it right now. Just keep going. But yeah, it's getting heavy.
Because her hair is super thick. When I say it's super thick, it's super thick.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have any recommendations for you for the heaviness of it, but I mean, if you decide to cut it, it's going to grow back. It's going to grow back quick based off of the conversation we just had. I mean, you don't really have problems with that.
No, I don't have problem with growth at all. I just always loved short hair, so I always kept my hair short. See,
same, yeah.
And like I said, at the root is that much.
The root. Lord have mercy, not the
let
root.
me go this way. Yeah.
Yeah. You see all that?
And this is just a month.
A little bit.
Just a month worth of growth. Let me see if I can get closer. Okay. Here we go. Yeah.
See,
just a month worth of growth.
A whole lot of new growth up in there.
And I'm like, I don't want to go get a retwist yet, but I need one.
Yeah, I mean, you could pin it up in a cute style.
Yeah,
just to kind of stretch it a little longer.
That's like a no.
I've done that.
She don't even be wanting to sit down and do
2 days.
Yeah, it's just heavy.
Some water on that.
Yeah.
All right then.
Right.
Summertime.
And see, you can't see it quick, but Santresa hair ain't nowhere near short.
No, I got it pinned up in a ponytail.
And she done trimmed it a few times, and it still ain't short. So
no, it's here. I'm trying to get back to the length that I had when we were kids. That's the only reason I haven't chopped it off yet.
Me too.
And my mom just told me I was nowhere near there, so it made me feel like I was still wearing my pixie cut. Like, gosh, she just made me feel bald. I'm hot already.
Right.
And I have to grow it to my waist? Is that what you're telling me? I don't know if I can make it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
You could do
we'll see.
You always styling it, so you go find some way to style it to make it look real good and still keep you cool.
Maybe. I also get that itch. I get that itch real bad. Y'all can see me tomorrow and I have a mohawk. It don't take nothing for me. The only thing that's stopping me is I promised myself that when I let go of my relaxer that I was going to grow it back to childhood length. So I'm really trying to keep my word. However, I see a lot of cute little shortcuts.
I know, because she has always worn her hair short after she cut it that first time.
That's my
Yeah,
issue.
I wore it short for 4 years.
And I'm like, I'm ready to just cut it off. And I watch people, because I'm in a few lock groups, so they go through the process of just unlocking it. And I'm like, I'm not doing all that when it's time.
Oh, that's taking forever to do that.
Right.
Especially
It
her
takes
head.
It
She'll
takes
be there all day trying to unlock them locks.
It takes more than a day. I've seen some people do that before.
Yeah,
it takes them 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm. And I don't have I don't have the
it's
patience.
Not my ministry.
Endurance for
okay,
that.
so how do you know the different types of hair? Because I was watching your video from I don't know what my hair type is, so I don't know that. But how do you know the different types of hair, like the 4C and all of this extra?
Okay, here's my thing with that chart. There's benefits to the chart, but when I was in school, that chart didn't exist. That chart became a thing. Excuse me. That chart became a thing after Chris Rock came out with good hair. And there was a mass exodus from relaxers. So now these big companies are like, oh no, all the black ladies are not getting relaxers anymore. We still got to get their money. Let's come up with a chart to talk to them about their hair types. And then they tell you, hey, this product is great for 3C hair. This product is great for 4B hair. Both of them are going to work on your hair. It's just depending on the porosity and the density of your hair and how much you're going to use. And for what? For your texture, Coco, if memory serves me right, you were probably like a 3B, 3A, somewhere in there like that, because you don't have like super, super tight curls. But again, that depends on how thick your hair is, what the porosity level is. Sometimes it don't take a whole lot of product to get the job done with you. Whereas for me, I'm going to need a little bit more because my curls are a little bit different than yours, but my hair is really thick. And it tend to soak up stuff sometimes.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of, you can't just really go off the chart alone. And I used to completely not like that chart at all. But now I see the benefits of it because it kind of does help you learn a little bit about your hair, but it's kind of like a surface level thing because there's more to it than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a person who's, my hair ain't thick, right? And it ain't super, super thin, but it's thin. So, and then due to the amount of surgeries I've had, I no longer retain minerals. So sometimes that makes my hair break off a lot or shed a lot, but it's still growing. So it has no problem growing, but it's just the breakage that I have a problem with. So my question is there something that I can use to try to control my breakage?
You would have to start consistently doing treatments, whether you're going to the salon doing it or if you're going to buy something over the counter to do at home. Treatments, I feel like we don't really talk about treatments enough and explain how they're supposed to be used, because a lot of times people will just come in the salon and be like, oh, well, my hair is breaking. Can you just give me the one treatment? And then that you're off. And then I don't see you anymore until it starts to break again. And then you come back for another treatment. Sometimes people think one treatment is enough, or you just stay long enough until it's healthy and strong. And then you go back and doing whatever it is that you were doing. And I think the best example, excuse me, that I've been giving people lately is we as women, even if we don't know nothing about a car, we know one thing: we got to keep that oil change, right?
That's right.
And if you don't get that oil change, we finna blow the car up. The oil change keep the car running. The treatments keep your hair strong and healthy, especially if it's long, because the longer your hair is, the hair at the bottom, that's the oldest hair that you have. I've been growing my hair for 5 years. So the hair that's here is 5 years old, unless I've cut it away. The hair up here to my scalp is the strongest part because that just came in. So you want to make sure that you're keeping the retention and the moisture and the strength for the hair down, if that makes sense. I know I just kind of said that crazy.
So should I do the protein treatment or the other one?
I would go back and forth between the two for you, because you would do the protein to help keep it strong, but you also want to retain moisture, because too much protein will make your hair go in reverse in the pop.
Okay.
Like too much of anything is going to go work in the opposite of what it's supposed to do if you overdo it, you know. But yeah, I tend to put my clients on a rotation of a breakage treatment, deep moisture treatment, and then a standard conditioner, depending on how often I see them. And I got to the point where I didn't want to keep saying, hey, you need to get a treatment, hey, you need to get a treatment, hey, you need to get a treatment, to when I updated my pricing and my system a couple of months ago, I just built it into the services now. So when you come into the salon, you're going to automatically get at least a basic deep conditioning.
Okay. And so are your consultations, for your consultations, do you have to book those too?
Yes. If
Okay.
you're a new client, you can book a virtual consultation, especially if you're not in the Charlotte area. But for most clients who come in to see me in person, if you're a new person, when you come in, that the consultation is included, and I send out a link for you to complete that when you book the initial appointment. So we're going to go through all that stuff, and then I even give you like a little goodie package of some samples to take home and try out.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna have to do when I take this up out my head, I'm gonna have to book me a consultation, and I'm
Okay.
gonna have to come on a Saturday, and I'm gonna have to come get it done, and then I'll probably have to end up coming once out of the month. So yeah.
That's
But
fine by me. You know,
like
I'm
I said,
always happy
it
to
broke,
see you.
and I can tell that my hair down on the end,
Mm-hmm.
that really is my weakest point, because it's like that part of my hair. I've been thinking about chopping that part off, but I was gonna wait because I wanted to wait to get a consultation first.
Uh-huh.
But I think that part needs to come off, because that part is like I can almost see through it.
It does need to come off. The
So
thing
yeah.
is that you have to have a consistent routine. It's more than just getting the treatments as well. And I think, you know, some of the newer stylists tend to get away from the healthier portions of hair. You're kind of more concerned about the hair being cute and getting people out the door. Um, but you have to have a consistent routine. Like what you're saying about your ends, it's been a while since you've had them clipped. You need to, once you get that initial cut, you need to make sure that your ends are taken care of every 8 to 12 weeks. Because
Okay.
if you're going beyond that, then you're going to start to get those little single knots in your hair, or you're going to start getting some excess shedding. And you're like, oh, I'm combing it. Where are all these little balls and fuzzies coming from? Because that's a clear sign that you're overdue for getting your ends clipped.
Okay.
And especially when you get to the point where you can see through it, it's time for it to go.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you, and you're gonna be so bad. You're gonna say I just messed up. The last time I was in the salon, the last time I came to see you.
I knew you was gonna say that.
I have not been in a salon since. I kid you not. I'm not lying. I have not been in an actual salon and sat in nobody's chair since the last time I came to see you. So that tell you something.
That means we gonna do better.
A whole lot
Yes.
better.
Yes, we are. Your diet plays a big role in your hair, because I personally struggle with anemia. When my iron is low, your vitamin D is low, your hair will pop. It will come out to the point where you'll think something else is happening to you because it is shedding that much. Your diet, your water intake is very important. I do tell my clients to make sure they're at least eating a well-rounded diet. If they're not, then they need to go get a multivitamin. It doesn't necessarily have to be a hair, skin, and nail vitamin, but you have to, whatever you put in your body is coming out through your hair, skin, and nails, period. You got to make sure you're drinking enough water. You got to make sure you're getting enough rest. You got to make sure that you're keeping your stress levels to as low of a minimum as you can possibly keep it, because stress will not only kill you, it will make you bald.
Yes, it will.
So that's important as well. And you kind of already touched on that when you said that your body's not retaining the minerals and nutrients that it's supposed to.
Yeah, because of all of my intestinal surgeries, I no longer maintain them at all. I have to come. I don't come all the way up to Chapel Hill anymore, but I still have to go to Duke at least 3 to 4 times out of the month just to get infusions, just so that I can have some in my body. And then at home, I'm taking massive amounts of vitamins. So all of my vitamins are in liquid form. so that I can retain what little bit I do retain.
Okay. That's a lot, but I'm glad that you're doing it and you're still here.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know about that whole vitamin D thing. When I found out that I wasn't retaining any of the minerals, they put me on like a 50, but I'm on a 55,000 unit vitamin D. I take that like once or twice out of the week. And then all, like I said, all of my other stuff is liquid. So what I also started doing was, um, and if it's wrong for me to use, let me know and I'll start using it. But I did start using biotin itself. Um,
That's fine.
so I started dropping it. I use the drops in my hair, and then I
Mm-hmm.
also take the liquid that you can ingest because
Mm-hmm.
I don't retain the stuff that I would normally make on my
Right.
own. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I've been doing.
That's fine. A lot of times when people start taking biotin, my only recommendation for them is to make sure they're drinking plenty of water because it will break you out. Especially if
So,
you're a person who has sensitive skin. You
yeah.
got to make sure your water, you're putting a lot of water in your body so that way it doesn't come out in your face.
Okay.
But a lot of the hair, skin, and nail vitamins, especially that hair affinity that everybody was on a couple of years
Hmm.
ago, biotin. And then they have other stuff in there too, but the main thing is biotin.
Yeah,
So
because I
it's
know
fine.
it had a lot. It had a large milligram of biotin in it. Yeah.
Very large.
Yeah.
Very large. Yes.
So, well, y'all heard it. Like I'm one of those type of people. I don't like to chop my hair out because I mean she could tell y'all. All we've all well, it's just our family gene though. We've all had long hair, and then we chopped it off when we got older. Of course, I never
Yes.
really liked the short hair thing, but I always kept mine pretty long as we came up. So, for me to have it as short as it is now, that's because I did a big chop. Um, about 2 3 years ago, and I shaved the sides off and everything. So
Okay.
um, yeah, like it was a V cut, so I had no size, no nothing.
Oh, I missed that memo. I
Yeah,
did. I did.
yeah,
Sounds like it was cute though.
it was, and the color was cute. It looked like the color was like an amethyst color or something like that.
That does sound
So
like it was cute.
yeah, so it
Okay.
looked jet black until I hit the
The
sun. When I
sun
hit the
hit it.
sun, you can see all the colors. So yeah.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, so and I mean that I tell y'all to listen to her because if you get to somebody that can do your hair and keep it done faithfully, then you can grow it out for the people that are trying to grow your hair back out. For the ones
Yeah.
of y'all that like the little short curly dudes, nothing wrong with that, but you still have to keep that hair healthy too because you can make that hair thin out and fall out your head too if you're
Yeah.
doing the wrong stuff to it. So,
Absolutely
I know
right.
some people that have slapped texturizers in their little short curly curl, but then you don't do nothing to it and your hair dry and breaking off. Um, and all of the color people, y'all make sure you oil your hair when you put colors in it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
y'all thought you just color and don't do nothing else to it. That's not how that works.
Mm-mm.
That is definitely not how it works because it's still a chemical, and any chemical that you are adding to your hair is going to alter the natural state of your hair, and it's going to make it weaker.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go back in and add moisture and protein to the hair, or it is going to pop
Right,
like Rice Krispie treats, snap, crackle, pop, boop, on the floor.
right. And you're gonna be mad when you see it come out your head and you already ain't
Mm-hmm.
got much of none.
Right.
So, we want y'all to maintain your crowns, please. Okay.
Exactly, exactly,
You
exactly.
know, right? Now I do say, um, I'm telling y'all to go get her oils though. You know, I do know a couple of my friends that have purchased her oils and they like it. So I'm telling y'all to get her oils because they are fan of the A&R. So
Okay.
and they're my friends, my spiritual family that's in Virginia. So they have purchased a couple vials of it and they like it.
Let me
Um,
find out I'm shipping off stuff to your people and don't know it.
yeah, yeah. And they like it, they enjoy it, they get it from you faithfully every month. So, and I have
Thank you.
one of my friends, she has a house full of daughters. That's all she got, and all of them use it. So, yeah.
Okay.
So she was like, "Yeah, she's gonna be on your show tonight." I said, "Yeah, she's gonna be on the show." So
Oh,
they really like using it, but she said it worked and it grew all. I mean, they haven't used your mane and girl. All they used was the A&R, and they said that grew their hair out too.
it does help with growth, but it's not geared towards growth like the mane and grow is.
Okay.
So it's kind of two separate things. That one is, like I said, it helps with the growth, but the main thing is for it to help with that dryness of the skin and the scalp, and to help fight breakage. I actually can use it as a treatment as well. I call that a house blend treatment.
Okay.
When clients come into the salon, I kind of mix it with one of the conditioners, and you go under the dryer for 20 minutes.
Okay.
And it's a house blend because you can only get it from me.
Right.
Like Starbucks has their
So
house blend
are you
coffee.
gonna come up with like a shampoo conditioner too?
Eventually, that's the plan.
Okay.
Eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been on the books for. I'm kind of in the place now in life where I am starting to walk out some of the things that I've been writing down over my 11 years.
Okay. Okay.
11, 12 years. I don't know how many years it's been.
Now, do you agree with this? I noticed that a new little hair product trend is the rice water stuff.
No.
Okay.
I've noticed that I can't really 100% rule it out, but I'm not a fan of it. A lot of times when people start catching on to things and it gets popular and it blows up on YouTube, if you notice, it starts popping up on the shelves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're gonna go with whatever you guys, in most cases, whatever y'all trying to get on. Oh, we got something for that. You can get
Okay.
it from us.
Right.
Type situation. Yeah. Now I have seen some people say that it works, but I haven't really touched it myself. I am not a fan of it though, because I feel like that's going to end up causing more dryness in the long run.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
would you recommend a certain type of shampoo and conditioner for people? Always hydrating, or is there or do for people who have like my type of hair, would you recommend a co-wash, or what would you?
I'm not going to recommend co-washing at all.
Okay.
And I literally, since you watch my post, I just started a YouTube channel, and I literally just did a video last week about shampoos and conditioners, explained part 1, and I just put up the video part 2 about conditioners today.
Okay.
Because I was editing it on my phone and it wouldn't let me put it all together as one big file, so I had to break it up into 2 parts. But at the end of the video today, I talked about co-washing. And this has kind of been my theory on this for a couple of years. I know the main thing is that people are trying to not strip their hair from moisture, but you have to know how to use the products that you have. And how would your skin feel if you took a shower in lotion for a week? Think about that.
Right. You're messing up your pores.
You're going to be itchy.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to feel clean. You're going to be flaky. Same thing with your scalp. A lot of times I've had people come in that had buildup on their scalp and they thought they had dandruff, and it wasn't dandruff. You're co-washing your hair.
Right.
It's clogging up your pores. Your hair is not really moving. I like hair that moves. And then you're wondering why it's not moving and it's heavy. It's because you're not really cleaning your scalp properly. You don't necessarily have to shampoo it every single week. My window is 7 to 10 days for me before I start itching.
Right.
And I'm just like, okay, I got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But for most people, depending on what's going on with your hair, if you have color treated hair, you're going to need a shampoo that's safe for color. Some shampoos are actually going to lift the color out of your hair and make it lighter, so you want to stay away from those. But I have what I call the Metamorphosis back bar here at the Salon kit, where I use a clarifying shampoo, and then I follow it up with a specialty shampoo, which is kind of a clarifier as well, but it's also good for pulling products and impurities off of the scalp, and it heals the scalp as well, especially if you're having issues with itching and dandruff. It can sit for like 5 minutes. Now, if you have color treated hair, I wouldn't necessarily use that on you because it's going to start to lighten it up a little bit. But no matter what you're using, you're going to always follow up with a moisturizing shampoo, because the first 2 are pulling things off of the hair, getting it clean. That last one is going to put moisture in the hair, and then you're going to follow it up with the conditioners or a treatment to make sure that the hair is good, moisturized, and strong.
Okay, so you're shampooing it at least 3 times.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then the conditioner. Now, should a conditioner always be like a sit under the dryer, or just put a cap on and let it stay on as long as you can and then rinse it out? Or can you just put it on, work it through, and then
That depends on the conditioner that you have. Some conditioners are just at the bowl or at the shower conditioners. You let it sit for 2 or 3 minutes, kind of detangle your hair, rinse and go. Some conditioners require you to sit under the dryer for 10 to 15 minutes. Now, us as African American ladies, or ladies who just have really, really thick hair, it is not a good idea for us to walk around with a plastic cap on and call it a day. I don't care how long you let that sit. You think you see that little steam, starting to look a little steamy. That's not enough body heat to penetrate the hair strand.
okay.
You need heat from a dryer coming down and the body heat coming up. And I had a client come in, and I just love him. We have the best conversations. He keeps me on my toes. Um, and he kept saying, I'm treating my hair. I don't understand what the problem is. I don't understand what the problem is. And after 45 minutes of talking, it hit me that he was doing what I just said. He was just putting on a plastic cap and walking around. And his hair is thicker than all three of us.
Wow.
And I was like, that's really only going to work for like the first inch, maybe 2 inches tops, because it's like right there off the scalp. Everything else, it's not really doing nothing. You need to sit under a dryer. You need that heat because it's going to open up that strand. You think about it when we learned about water in school. What happens to water when it's hot? What happens to it when it gets cold?
Right.
So if you're using warm water, you kind of opening up the strand, getting everything out. So that way you can put stuff in. And then you use the cool water, or if you notice they have a cool shot on the dryer, it closes the strand down as much as it's going to possibly close it to seal in whatever you just put in there.
Okay. Okay. So do you have, I mean, I know that hair is your thing, but do you have a specialty as far as hair is concerned? Is your specialty color? Is your special, or are you just versatile now? You just do it all?
I started out doing it all, but my clientele is strictly natural hair now. That
Okay.
doesn't mean it's going to be that permanently, but I had to swing with what was coming to me. So I joke now that I should have named the salon Thick instead of Metamorphosis, because everybody comes in here that has thick hair like you, Quinn. 97% of my clients have thick hair like you, and it's loose, and they want it blown out, and I'm just like, woo, I'm tired. But let's get it. We gonna
But
get
I
it
can
done.
imagine what the blowouts look like after you're done, though,
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
because you're not using relaxers on people anymore. You're doing the silk treatments now, right?
Yes.
And how long do the silk treatments last?
You're supposed to do them about every 8 to 12 weeks, but personally for myself, I've been wearing one for almost a year, and I've only done it 3 times.
Because your hair is kind of trained to it now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And
so
I just needed to loosen up the texture for me just enough so that my blowout wouldn't snap back. Like today, it was 99 degrees in Charlotte today.
yeah, it was.
That's
hot.
why it's in a ponytail. No way. If I would have blown it out today, my roots would have been like this. By the time I went outside, there's nothing. I don't care what you do to it. Heat is heat.
Right.
My head is like an oven, and it just pulls all the humidity. It wouldn't have been good. But with me putting in that system, it kind of helps to maintain the blowout a little longer, and it helps to fight the frizz.
Okay, and then I heard on one of your other videos that you had just started. Well, I don't know if you had started something new or if it's just something you had been started a while now, but you talked about it. You was talking about I think it was a acidity thing.
Oh, the amino acid treatment.
Yeah.
That is a new treatment that just came into the salon because it is really good for people who are fresh out of braids, like you have braids in your hair now, or sew-in or crochets or things like that, and it helps to add those acids it's really keratin back into the hair, and it softens the hair down like you wouldn't believe just from the first treatment. And I get things and I try it on myself first before I put it on the menu.
Okay.
And I did it for 2 weeks, and I was like, oh, and I let it go for the whole week. And I don't know if you saw, I shared on Facebook when you wake up at 1 a.m. and it was James Brown and you forgot to turn the fan on. Sometimes that's me. I wake up and I am drenched in sweat. And I'm like, oh my God, my nose is clogged up. I can't breathe. My hair is doing this thing. It was still soft because it literally happened to me probably like the first week. My air conditioner knocked off.
Oh gosh.
And I woke up like, oh, but my hair was still silky once it dried. I said, all right, I think I like this. Told the product guy, I'm going to need for you to bring me some more of that back.
Okay, so how often would a person have to use that?
For salon visits, that depends on what you're coming in and your level of trauma to your hair.
Okay.
And how often I'm going to see you. So if you have a pretty much standard healthy head of hair, I may not give it to you at all. I may just use it if you come in and say, hey, I just took some braids out. A lot of times I can look at y'all and tell you just took braids out. I might offer it to you then, or if you're really having some major issues with your hair, I might do it for the first couple of appointments until I start to see some positive results, and then I'll switch your routine to every other appointment or once a month or however often you're coming in to see me.
So now, when you do when you use that and do the silk treatment, do you have to look at the person's hair first to see if they can even use the silk treatment? Because can it be used on any head of hair, or there's some heads of hair you just would not put it on?
That depends on what's going on. That's a trial by trial basis. I wouldn't necessarily use that on somebody who has hair that's less than like 3-4 inches long, because you may not be able to get your curls back just because of how short it is, and we're going in with that heat. I personally would recommend it for somebody who at least has chin length hair.
Okay.
And it doesn't really hurt color. It just depends on the situation. If you have very damaged hair, I will want to get your hair to the healthiest place possible before I put anything in it. That's just my personal preference.
Okay. So that's right. So before you get off, I want you to tell everybody where you're located, your times. I already gave them where your salon, your website address, but tell them where you're located and your times that you're open.
I am located in Charlotte, North Carolina. The salon is located inside Salon Central on Independence Boulevard. The address is 2925 East Independence. That is also listed on the website. And the salon is open Wednesday through Saturday from 9 to 6. I take my last appointment at 5:15, Wednesday through Friday. Saturday, it is from 9 to 3.
Awesome.
And I absolutely do not do hair on Sunday, not Sunday for real, but Monday and Tuesdays I'm closed because I have a separate gig that I do on Mondays and Tuesdays. I do offer after hours things, but it has to be, it depends on the situation if I'm going to accept it or not.
Okay. And for a person that's coming in for a first time consultation, what would they need to do?
You would need to go on to met-salon.com, go to the booking tab and book a new client package. I believe there are 4 listed there. Make sure that you book that. You'll get a welcome email with all the information that is needed. If you have any questions and you want to shoot something to me directly outside of that, you can always shoot me a phone call or a text. I tend to respond quicker to text messages, but that is between the hours of 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. If it's anytime after those hours, I love y'all, but I hit you on the next day. And if it's on Sunday, I will talk to you on Monday.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. And then you said that you do take virtual consultations, correct?
Yes, I do. Just because I know that there are people like yourself, you're not in Charlotte. I have some other relatives that like to ask me questions too, or classmates. And I had a lady who found me a couple of weeks ago on Instagram who was saying that every time she finds a good stylist, they're not in Atlanta. And I was like, I'm sorry, but that's what the virtual consultations are for, so I can help walk you through whatever is going on with your hair in the best way possible. And it's also kind of why I went on ahead and pushed forward with the YouTube channel, so I can give information to people who can't get to me. And I have some other things coming down the pipeline in that department as well.
Awesome. Okay, so I guess my last thing before you go is so for anybody trying to break into go from relaxed to natural, because there's a lot of
Okay.
people that I know that are really trying to do that. What is some quick nuggets that you could give them besides the big chop thing? Since everybody's saying that the big chop is the first thing you got to do, but
You don't have to big chop your hair, but patience is a virtue. You have to be patient. You have to give it time. You have to learn your hair as it's growing in, the hair that God gave you without it being altered. You're going to have to make sure that your hair is really treated and moisturized, because that line where the curly hair and the relaxed hair meet is the weakest part of your hair, and that's going to snap like a twig if you do not take care of it. And you don't necessarily have to big chop. You can kind of trim away over time until it's to a length of your liking. And if you decide you don't really want to deal with it in big chop, you can do that too, and wear braids or a wig until it's to the length that you're ready to deal with. But you have to learn how to take care of the texture that you have. And I know a lot of people will let go of a relaxer and think that they're going to get textures similar to your texture, Coco, or similar to mine before I put the smoothing system in my hair, and then you're upset that you don't have that. You have to learn how to work with what you have and make it, shine for you. You can manipulate it to kind of get it close to that, but everybody doesn't have that texture, and that's okay.
okay,
Shrinkage is real.
yes, it is.
Shrinkage does not mean that the hair is unruly and unhealthy. That actually means your hair is healthy. Your hair is supposed to, if you don't have retention to the hair and it doesn't snap back, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
If your hair, if you're dealing with hair that will not curl up at all, it's either the texture that you have is probably like one of the fours, or your hair is so dry that it's not absorbing anything. So you have to learn your hair.
Now I do have some people that have went from relaxer to saying that they were going natural, but they went from a relaxer to a texturizer. And I said, "Well, honey, you still slapping the chemical up in your head." I said, "It's not making it any different. You just put the texturizer in it because you thought it was going to help your curl pattern. When they're and that's
Texturizer ain't nothing but a mild relaxer, so they
right." And I was like, it didn't make any difference. I was like, because you're still dealing with the same problem. So they have really been trying to get away from the chemical period and go back to the natural state. Now there is one who has the hair like you just mentioned, where I mean, when I say it looked like a wool mat, it looked like a wool mat. And she nothing I use work. I put mousse on it. I do this and I do that. I said, maybe it's what you're using, not because what you're using not work, is probably what you're using.
and
So
how she's using it, because it's all in the technique. You
okay,
got to learn your hair. You got to learn your hair texture, the porosity, the density, and then you have to know how to actually use the product and put it in your hair. Because I've had clients go home with what I have given them, and they was like, "I don't understand what you did," and then I take the comb and put it through, and they're like, "What did you do?" And then I hand them the mirror, and I say, "You see this? This is what I did. I mixed this and this, and I took the comb and I did boom, boom, boom." And they're like, "I'm not gonna remember that." Yes, you are.
yeah. If you
Because
want to
if
keep
you have any
doing
questions, you're
it,
gonna ask. Yeah. So
right.
it's interesting. Hair, it's fun. They have to see it as fun. And I think a lot of times when people let their relaxer go, they get nervous because they don't know how to deal with it. And you're just like, I'm just gonna put something in it to kind of help my nerves, because I cannot. People take huge sections. You have to take small sections with anything to make sure that you're getting the look and define it the way that you want to define it. So if you're taking a section this big and then you're wondering why your twist is not giving the way it's supposed to give, and my twist section is this big,
Right.
my detangling hurts so much. Your section is this big and you're yanking from your scalp straight down. You're supposed to start at the ends and work your
Yes,
way up
first. Yeah.
in a small section.
Okay.
So
So,
it's technique.
so this is my other question for you. Have you thought about like opening up more salons and putting other people in them?
Yes. When, I don't know, but that's always been a goal of mine. That was my goal in the beginning. I've never wanted to still be standing or sitting where I'm at right now at 65. I have to have a good exit strategy, and I can really see myself running a salon with the staff or a few salons with the staff. I'm pretty good at office type duties, and I have a lot of information that I can share and impart into other people if they're willing to listen. But I know a lot of stylists go to hair school and then they come out and they automatically want to go into their own salon or open up their own salon. So, the industry is a little different now. Salon suite concepts are really a thing because now everybody can kind of go in and build their own brand. They have a customized experience for their clients. And I think that's one of the things that my clients like about me. But it's also the chance for, and I really feel like this is true for me over the decade that I've been here, that it's the time for you to kind of fine tune and tweak things. So when you do go off into your own, and there have been people who started out in salon suites and they own multiple salons now.
Awesome.
Yeah. And some of those people are in Charlotte. So it depends on what you do with it. But I do know that the current place that I am in is not the forever place. And you told me that last year, and I kind of laugh every time something else happens to me. I'm like, daggone, and she sent me that message. Woo! Okay, what else is going to happen? Lord, I'm tired, but all right. Thank you.
So I have a question for you when it comes to retwisting locks.
Mm-hmm.
What do you charge?
That starts at $95 for me. There's just a standard palm retwist. I'm not doing anything else but retwisting your hair, shampooing it, conditioning or treating, retwist, you dry, and then you're out the door.
No style, no roller set, none of that.
Because she's hooked on this roller set thing. Don't ask me why.
I love my roller sets. But like you said, I have been blessed. I have not lost a lock. I've been doing my own hair since I started. I just found somebody out here that's a young lady that does a really good job. I went to her one time. But I had to learn what my hair likes because when I first started, it was like shampoo. Oh no, my hair don't like that type. And it would get stiff and it would turn white and it would take me days to get my hair to do right. So I really had to learn my hair. And it was a process.
And all products are not created equal.
Yes, they're not. It was amazing.
A lot of times you get what you pay for.
But now it's happy and it's healthy and I'm happy.
Good. That's all we want. Happy hair and a happy person.
I'm just overdoing it myself. And like I said, I found the little young girl that does it, but I still got to wash it myself. And I'm like over that part too.
Listen, we as the hairstylist community, and I tell my clients this all the time and they laugh, I'm like, we are grateful for people like you. We love that you don't want to do it yourself. That gives us something to do. That gives us a job. That gives us a career. We love that you don't want to do it. Come on in.
When it was short, it didn't bother me. But now that it's long, it takes forever. Like, so I'm like,
it's an event. Yeah.
I mean, you used to see her and she calls me as she's sitting under the dryer like, I've already been here 2 hours. I was like, why are you still under the dryer?
Because the hair is thick and it holds water.
Yes.
I'm so grateful for the summertime when I can wash my hair and go because the sun is oh my God, you don't know how grateful I am. I hate the dryer. I hate
Everybody hates the dryer. Everybody hates it. Even kids hate the dryer.
I actually like the dryer because it used to make me go to sleep though.
You're one of the few.
Only reason.
I have clients that are ready to get up after 5 minutes. And I'm like, you know you're nowhere near dry. Be quiet. It's been 5 minutes, girl. Stop it. But it's so hot. Sometimes they don't pick styles because they have to sit under the dryer. They avoid it. I'm like, hey, just do what works for you.
Right. Well, appreciate it. I know you said you had a time limit and you had to go, but I thank you for coming on today. I gotta have you back again, especially when you got a new product. Let me know when you got something
I
going on.
will. I
And when
will. I
when
will.
I take this up out my head, I'm coming.
I
So
look forward to seeing you. Thank you for having me on. This was fun. Like
yes, you gotta
literally,
do
this
some
was fun.
more.
I would love to do it again.
Yes, you gotta do it some more. So
Yes, I
I
enjoyed you,
appreciate
ladies.
We
we
enjoyed it
appreciate you so
too.
much. So thank you for coming. Y'all, I already told y'all met-salon.com. So go on, her products are up there and
Yes,
her well, I call it the itinerary for the salon. So all of that is there. Every service that she does, all of that's there. If
it
you
is.
want a consultation, book it. Y'all heard how she tell you how to do it. So please book it
It's
and
very
go
easy.
get your hair done and get it done properly. All right.
But thank you so much for the questions, Fred. I enjoyed you. Even though my cousin was poking with you for a minute there, that was all in good fun.
Yes. So let me know when you got something new coming on. Please let me know when you can come down. I'm gonna keep sending you the vendor event so you can come down and bring your stuff.
Please do, because I'm very serious about getting myself out there and pushing things and walking into this big wide purpose that I have.
Right.
It's time.
And
I can't keep playing small anymore as much as I want to.
no,
Thank you for
no.
being the first step of me jumping out here.
Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you for accepting. So that's all it took was the acceptance
Yeah,
and the invite. That's it.
right.
Yes,
So
yes, it
we're
did.
gonna see what happens, and I pray that you continue to grow. I pray that he continues to send you even more clients than what you already got. I pray for you to get all the new salons and all that good stuff because you deserve it, and it's coming to you anyway. So you know.
Thank you so much. You about to make me cry again. Stop, girl.
So I love you so much.
Love you too. It was very
Virtual
nice meeting
hug
you,
through the
Queen.
screen
Love
because
you too.
it's
Yes.
been so long, and we will
Color
do this
purple.
again. Yes. Yes, it's been so long, but we will do this again. So please tell
Yes,
everyone
we
I said
will.
hello.
I will. I will. Soon as I can hang up, I'm saying, tell them I'm gonna call mom and tell her.
Okay.
Yes.
Love you.
Love y'all too.
Have a good one
Have
and
a
thanks
great
again.
evening. You're welcome. Thank you.
Mhm.
Hey coach, how you doing?
All right, all right, all right.
So what
So,
was
Coco,
on
let's
today?
shift a little bit because it's been a while since
Yeah.
we heard some testimonies, and I'm pretty sure you probably got some in your inbox somewhere. Um,
Yeah, I got some ones that we never got a chance to read.
yeah, so let's hear that. We're good, Coach Fee. Let's hear a few testimonies and then we'll close it
Okay,
out.
so we're gonna try not see y'all want to make stuff tearjerker because we got a lot of testimonials that came in about tea, right? So I'll say a couple of those because they should be shared.
Yes.
So we did have a couple people send in a lot of stuff that they wanted to say to T or concerning T at the time of his passing. So and again, we appreciate all of y'all
Yes.
that kept us in your prayers, that were asking about how we were doing afterwards. And we appreciate y'all just giving us time, right? So with that being said, we do have Gregory who sent in his from YouTube, and he said, "You have no idea. This man right here poured into my life multiple times, and this, of course, just seems so unreal. But he was the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm so grateful to have him in my life. If it was not for him, I would not be where I am today." So, Gregory, we thank you for that, and I'm sure T is smiling from ear to ear. He is overjoyed. about being able to make an impact statement in your life, because he impacted us every time he was up here. Even when he wasn't, he still impacted us, because you could sit back and just recollect and have um, conversations about what he used to say and how he used to handle people. So I'm sure how he, I don't know exactly what he said that spoke it to you, but I could just imagine. So I thank you for sending that in. So we have Patrick next, who said, this man right here taught me how to be a father.
Wow.
He taught me how to step up to the plate and be a father to my son. I had not seen my son since he was 1 month old. Since he was 1 month old, me and my baby mama at the time were going back and forth and back and forth. And this man told me that if I really wanted to see my son, don't allow anything to stop me. So I went and I filed for the joint custody. With him getting joint custody, he was able to see his son, but his son was 8 months old by the time he saw him again.
Wow.
But he said, due to that, he's still the best father that he could be. He has him every other weekend, and he never misses a time. He's
Praise
always on
God.
time, and he always takes him back on time. So he said, I appreciate him for telling me how to step up to the plate and be a man, and I could teach my son how to be a man. He
Praise
was like,
God.
he will be missed. So we thank you for that, Patrick. And I wish that you would have been able to tell him that face to face one of those nights. But we thank you for that. Um, and I can just imagine, how he would have taken that, because y'all know how he was at receiving stuff from
Yes.
people. But I can just imagine how he would have took that. But I think that is so awesome, and congratulations to you, by the way. So we have Lionel. All of these are from YouTube, y'all. So we also have Lionel. He wanted to say, I am praying for you guys. I can just imagine how you feel. Um, T probably doesn't remember me, but I met him when I was 17
Wow.
at a church service. I met him when I was 17, and every time he spoke to me, he would always give me an encouraging word, and he never changed up on me when I
Praise
met him. I told him my story, but he never judged me, and he always remained the same. And he always told me I could be a better man. And today I am 25, and I am that better man.
Praise God.
So I thank him for what he instilled into me. I thank him just for being a stand-up man of God, and I I just thank him. That's what he said. So we thank you, Lionel. Thank you for
Yes.
being one of those people again that he impacted so greatly. Because y'all have no clue. If you were not with us when he was with us, we'll cue in some old shows. So you guys can go back and watch them to see him in action. All right. We have Sherry from Atlanta. She's on YouTube. She said he taught me a lot just through watching him on you guys' show. He
Praise God.
taught me what it's like for a man to understand a woman's plight, and being a woman that I could understand my own plight. I learned how to understand a man's story. I used to beat down my husband before watching you guys' show.
Wow.
After watching the show and listening to you and him, I understood that I had to start speaking life into him instead of beating him down. Today, because of all of you guys, our relationship is much better. And where our marriage was on the verge of divorce, we just celebrated 15 years of marriage.
Bless the Lord.
So thank you, Sherry. We appreciate you. And congratulations and happy anniversary to you guys, because I don't know how far back that was, but congratulations and happy anniversary to y'all. We have Walter from Atlanta. Walter said, I know him from church. I started watching the show because of him. um, and he impacted my life greatly. He was the best. He was the best undercover deacon I ever met. He was the best undercover deacon I ever met, and and he did his job well. Well, we thank you for that, Walter. I got to use that with y'all, the undercover deacon.
The
But
undercover deacon.
I thank you for that, and I'm sure that he was awesome at whatever he did, because he was awesome when he was here with us, and again, we thank you for that. We also, hi, Miss Gloria. We have Miss Gloria and the boys who said that they are so sorry for the loss. Um, they missed us. They missed us while we were gone. Oh, this was recent. I didn't even see this. I'm glad I saw it. Um, they missed us while we were gone. They'll be patiently waiting for us to return. And they hope that in the absence we are okay and that all is well. T was such an awesome asset, and we know you guys miss him greatly, but we miss him too. So we thank you, Miss Gloria. And yes, we are well and we're back in action. So
Yes.
um, we will be coming back like we used to. But we are excited about where we are headed. There's gonna be some new stuff coming down the pipe. Of course, we will keep y'all posted as to how that is going to go. Thursday night show. We will be with y'all at 8 o'clock. I'm
Yes.
not gonna tell y'all, not gonna tell you the topic. You just gonna have to wait on that one because it's gonna be heavy, but we're gonna come with it. Y'all know how I do. And what else we got going on? Monday on the 20th, Monday night. We are having Love is in the Air, finding love during the so-called pandemic. So that is gonna be Monday night. I don't know if we're gonna have a guest that following Thursday. We will have a show, but I don't know if we're having a guest. And then the
I'm still
following
trying to
Monday,
confirm that.
say it again.
I'm still trying to confirm that.
Okay. And then the following Monday, we will have a show, but I don't think we'll be having a guest. And then on the 23rd, we have a guest that night. And they're going to talk about a new drug and homeless recovery center that will be in Richlands, North Carolina. And the title of the center is called the City of Jerusalem. So you guys will get to hear something about that on that Thursday night on the 23rd. Also, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday nights, we have a Prime life support group, which is virtual. We have it on Zoom. I will reshare the flyer so you guys can get it. Please register and come on. And it's a wonderful judgment free zone, just like we have here on the podcast. But this is a support group. It gives you time to come in and release what you need to release so you could be refreshed throughout the week and stay refreshed. Not only do we talk about that, but we also encourage one another that are on the screen so that anybody that needs anything can get what they need to get. We're about the total man, healing, rejuvenation, the whole nine. So come on and have a little chat with us. Um, and that is Tuesday on Friday, Thursday on Friday, and Sundays at 6, unless I move it up until 5. So when I do that, I do let the people that register know so that I know they know that I moved it up an hour. But it's Sundays, it's supposed to be at 6. So um and I thank you guys for the ones that have already came and participated in those sessions. We have had some great ones. So I appreciate y'all. Because that was a launching into the deep move for me. So I had to do what I had to do. Right. So after that, what do we have coming up? I think that's it for the month of June. The support sessions are going to be ongoing, so they're going to be all the time. Now, as far as July is concerned, the only big hitter thing that I know that's coming down the pipe for July is the prophetic conference. That is the 30th, and that is starting at 6 p.m. So I will put up the flyer, the event page for that, so you guys can register. It is free. The only thing that costs this year concerning the conference is if you want a t-shirt, because I did get some t-shirts made. So if you want a t-shirt, you have to let me know. And those are $25. And that's the only thing that costs this year. But the conference itself is free. So other than that, you just let me know when you come in to register for a shirt. It is a option in the registration thing that if you want a shirt, that it'll be 25. But other than that, we looking forward to having y'all for the conference because we had a good time last year and plan on having an even bigger time this year. I think we 6 hours long last year. So and this year we even got more speakers. Last year we only had what, 1, 2, 3?
I think 4.
4. Okay, so this year we got 5. And we got some heavy hitters coming down the pipe. We have overseer Kimberly McWilliams, which I call her Dr. K now. She's still overseer to some of y'all though. Then we have Viviana the Cohan, she's pastor in New York. We have Elder Makisha Johnson. We have Prophetess Chandra Fraser, and we have my spiritual mother, Apostle Anita Page. So I promise y'all, you don't want to miss it, and I can guarantee you won't be disappointed. So come and get what you need to get, because I promise you, when you come in, you won't leave the same. I can guarantee you that. So I don't know, Quint, do you have anything that we're doing in July? No. Okay.
Nothing at all.
Okay. So I think that's all we got for July. Y'all know we keep y'all posted about everything else that we got going on. So, but other than that, we love y'all, and we're gonna see y'all on Thursday. Thursday when it comes, we're gonna do some more. We're gonna actually come back with the Q&A, y'all. So we're gonna have a little bit of Q&A Thursday after the topic. We're gonna see what the Lord say, and then we're gonna move on to some Q&A.
We do have a guest on Thursday, but
you have a guest Thursday?
Yeah, we have a guest on Thursday.
Okay. All right. You told them what the topic was?
Yes.
Okay, so all right, they ready now. All right, so we got a surprise guest, y'all. So I'm excited because I don't know who it is. So, but I like that, so I'm cool with it. So y'all know how I be. But yeah, so I'm excited. We'll see y'all on Thursday at 8:00. All right, so we love y'all to life. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Speak life into yourself. Live every day on purpose. Make it count. See y'all Thursday.